Thank you to the Moines Register. This is really great public offering to give candidates at all levels on the ballot a chance to speak to the folks. And what better place to do it than right out here at the Iowa State Fair. So thank you very much. And before I get going, I would like to say too, we have two booths at the Iowa State Fair here in the Varied Industries building. And I don't want to leave it out of the speech. So we have our Great Iowa Treasure Hunt booth in the middle of the Varied Industries building. So stop by and check your name. Believe it or not, we have millions of dollars there for folks. And the one thing we want to do is return it to you. And each year we return about 750,000 to Iowans at the Iowa State Fair. And the other booth we have is College Savings Iowa booth. And it's the most successful college savings program in the country. It really helps folks. And but we have a $1,000 drawing this year. At the end of the fair, if you sign up, you may win a $1,000 scholarship for College Savings Iowa. So those are 2 points I didn't want to forget. But as I'm running for treasurer, my campaign kind of has a AAA plan. I talk about my approach to government, my accomplishments as state treasurer, and what's the agenda? I mean, if I'm asking for re-election, what do I plan to do in the next 4 years? So first of all, I want to tell you my approach. My approach is to do more with less, have an efficient treasurer's office, one where we hire talent that can really hear me now. How about we try to have, all right, yeah. We use computers as much as we can because we have to do more with less to make Iowa government work effective and efficient. And we've been able to do that. I'm real proud of that and we'll continue to do it with fiscal responsibility. I'm the custodian of all retirement funds, etc. And I'm happy we've had some tough years in the past, but we've never lost any money and our funds have done well. And our pension funds are absolutely rock solid. So we can be proud of that in the state of Iowa. And I must also say, since 2008, Iowa has been rated AAA by all three rating agencies. I take pride in that. I worked with our former state auditor, Republican Richard Johnson, to make sure we had an honest, open set of books. And that's the one thing I think that helped us more than anything else. And it's led us to having AAA rating since 2008, and that's something Iowans can be proud of. So when I talk about the accomplishments, as I started to talk about the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt, it's been a phenomenal success. I started that in 1983 because millions of dollars get turned over to the treasurer's office every year that are lost by banks and insurance companies, and just checks do get lost in the mail. You may get an insurance check and think it's junk mail and you throw it away. Well, if you don't cash it, it comes to my office. You know, you move, don't get your deposit back, or you whatever, never asked for it, comes to my office. I'm holding about $500 million for about 700,000 names. And it could be individuals, it could be someone who's passed away in your family, it could be your business, your church, do-gooder organizations of all kinds. But we want to find you and return you your money. And we've had a lot of success. 500,000 people in Iowa have received money. We've been able to return $325 million to about 500,000 Iowans. And it's for real, it works, and that's our mission, is to get this money back to the rightful owner. But it keeps coming in faster than we return it. Last year, we received $40 million in unclaimed property. So we really take this effort seriously to get this money back to the rightful owners. The other thing I want to say I'm very proud of is College Savings Iowa. I started that program in 1998. It's been a phenomenal success. Families, parents, and grandparents can put in money for a child, grandchild, or good kid down the block and deduct that amount from their Iowa income taxes. And it grows tax-free from the federal government and the state government. And you can go to any college in the United States or trade school that you want to. And Iowans love it. And I'm a grandparent. Grandparents love it. I've heard so many of them tell me, Mike, I helped my grandson get through a year's college. Or my granddaughter paid for her college education. Such an obstacle for these kids today. College Savings Iowa works. It's professionally invested. There's a little cost, but it's pretty close to being dirt cheap. And as a matter of fact, as this has grown, we've been able to reduce the cost of College Savings Iowa 9 times in the last 15 years. I'm real proud of that, and we want to keep serving Iowans. And before I move on, I want to also say there's $7.5 billion in this fund right now, 280,000 accounts. But you know, over $4 billion has been taken out by families to pay for college education. It's working. It's doing what it's supposed to. And because that's worked so well, I spearheaded an effort where we have now a program that helps people with disabilities save. You know, if you're on disability and you get Social Security, if you have more than $2,000, the government takes it away. We now have a program, IABLE, stands for Iowans Achieving a Better Life Experience. And family members can contribute to it. Parents, grandparents, up to a total of $15,000 each year. And when the total gets to $100,000, you can't put any more in. But it's the same way. You get a tax deduction for putting money in. It grows tax-free. It's professionally invested. It really helps these Iowans. And it's growing very fast. We're real proud to have over 13,000 accounts now in that program. So it's a way we're helping Iowans. And we just want to get the word out for it. So with that, those are 2 things on savings that we're real proud and I'll keep working for. But I'm the custodian and trustee of our pension funds. IPERS helps all Iowans. We pay out over $2.2 billion of benefits all over the state. And even in these rural counties, they could be the biggest payroll. So it's important we maintain IPERS. And it's rock solid. I've been the custodian and trustee of that fund for the last 39 years. It's one of the best retirement programs in the country. But you know, there's movements. Every few years, legislation's put in to do away with IPERS. Give you a 401k, let you be on your own. But it's so important for all these public employees. It's important especially to rural Iowa, all these paychecks essentially that go out for our retirees, keep these small communities going. But we have a good system. It doesn't need fixing or changing. And I stand up for it all the time, and I will continue to do that because it's just a real great program. The final thing is the agenda for the next 4 years. Why should I deserve to be reelected? Or what am I going to do for you? Well, one, I am going to protect the pension funds. I'll fight to the last day to keep not just IPERS, but the peace officers and the judicial pension fund strong. And that's important to Iowa. I'm also, in the unclaimed property area, the federal government is holding estimated $250 million of matured savings bonds for Iowans. They make no effort to return it like we do through the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt. I want to get those names of Iowans that have matured savings bonds. And I also, we want to get their names. We'd like to have that money returned to us. But we want to make the effort to get this money that rightfully belongs to Iowans. And the final thing I'll be working on, I've pushed it 4 or 5 years, and I'll continue to push it because I really believe in it, is a retirement program for about half the people in Iowa that don't have access to a retirement program at work. It's just a simple, what we call it, auto IRA. You know, if you're a waitress or you work at the lumber yard, small business, any place, they don't offer retirement plans. But this is a plan where you could put in 3% of your salary, send it into the state treasurer's office. The employer, it doesn't cost them any money because by federal law can't put any money into it. But it allows these folks to start saving. As Warren Buffett says, that's the magic to getting rich. Get a habit of saving. They'll put 3% of their paycheck into this savings plan, And then with the state, I can offer them professional investment, low cost, access to these index funds that really benefit them, even if they're only putting away $20 every 2 weeks. But after a few years, some of these young people, they'll have something and something to build on. And with half the people in Iowa approaching retirement age with no pension or retirement benefits, I think it's a serious problem. But we can do things to help Iowans prepare for retirement without costing us anything. So that's what I'll be working on. I hope you will consider what I'm doing. I appreciate any support. And again, before I leave the stage, I just want to remind you, Great Iowa Treasure Hunt booth, come by and check your name, and stop on by our College Savings Iowa booth, register for that $1,000 scholarship, and learn about that wonderful program. Thank you all very much.